Good morning, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you from Blessed Anna Maria Taigi's book again on a point that I thought was important, the difference between anxiety versus sweetness, and how you can apply that in different parts of your life. And like for me, for example, as a student, I'm finishing up papers, so it's like, okay, should I feel anxious about completing these papers, or should I feel the sweetness knowing that, okay, I could get these done, and that what I do is going to be great. And so this will be a great topic to discuss and share with everyone. So let's get this started. All right, so here is from the quote I'm going to take from the book from Blessed Anna Maria Taigi's work with our Lord and what they talk about. And so, anxiety versus sweetness. When it is the evil spirit, thou wilt experience great anxiety. When it is myself, meaning Jesus the Lord, thy heart will feel a great sweetness. And I'll connect one more writing or note from her book, that with an evil mortification, the devil urges extravagant austerities so that the souls may be wearied, rendered impotent in the service of God. Where a healthy mortification is where you perform a bodily exercise without ruining your health. And so the reason why I bring that second quote in is so that, okay, like I have a deadline to finish this paper coming up. I have to complete this or else my grade will go bad. Okay, so I understand the consequences. Now, with respect to the consequences, should I feel great anxiety and be like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to study, prepare. I got to get the resources, information, and write down everything in paragraph form, double space, yada, 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 follow the parameters. Or should I be in a state of sweetness where I recognize, okay, I've done this before. I know I can do this. It's nothing to be afraid of. Yes, I'll put good work in. I understand what I need to put in the paper, but I don't have to freak out or feel anxious about it because I know that I have the ability to get this paper done. And I think sharing this to a greater level with the mortifications, how many of us want to do so much with great anxiety that our Lord even says you cannot add another ounce of your life or another day to what you're doing, because what's the point? With so much work and effort, you can only accomplish so much in the day. And now people on business will say, well, why don't you have multiple computers running some of your finances while the other computers can handle your paperwork and yada yada. Okay, I'm not saying not to use technology or other tools at your disposal, but even everything on this planet has a limit to how much speed and work you can produce, how much you can get done in a crammed amount of time. And I think when you remember that, okay, I have limits, I cannot do everything like Superman forever. Eventually, being a human, right, we got to take a nap at some point, get some coffee, etc. And if I'm starting to hurt my body, my own health is starting to deteriorate, get more weight or get very skinny, right? Anorexia. It's like, uh-oh, my body's starting to react to the way I'm living. And the way I'm living is a reflection of what I believe. And that is the bigger point I'm trying to share in this video. The way your body reacts is the way that you believe about yourself in different environments with other people. And if you don't have that confidence, if you're always anxious, people recognize that. They're like, oh, are you okay? Are you all right? And that's going to make it difficult for you to find a husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend because you're so anxious. Or on the flip side of that, you're going to attract someone with that kind of mentality as well. And that's not good or bad. I'm just saying it's all psychology. It's a reflection of what you believe, and you attract what you believe. And it's going to be hard to level up and attract the next person because you're stuck at the low level of anxiety. So how do you get to that high level of sweetness? Well, a part of it, I would argue, is, yes, care for your work, but you could also not care in the sense like, all right, I'm relaxed, I'm calm. I got a video that I'm creating right now, but I've done many of these videos already because I have the experience of doing this already. And I'm confident that I can create, edit, get this shared and sent out to YouTube for everyone to see later in the day. And yeah, I make these videos in the morning and it goes into the afternoon. And that's why yesterday I said, good morning, good afternoon when I stumbled, because I'm like, oh, technically this is for later in the day. The point is, when you have confidence in knowing what you're creating for the public, for other people, what you're doing, you start to relax, you start to laugh, you start to say, oh, it's no big deal. It's not really something to be afraid of, because I know I've done these things over and over again. For those of you who may be watching this video from high school, all right, I ran track, so it's like, oh, am I going to make it under 50 seconds in the 400? Am I going to make it to 10 seconds in the 100? And you practice, you practice, you practice. And I would argue healthy practices where you're confidently assured that you know you're going to get to that time, you're going to make the time. Whereas if you're so anxious and you overwork yourself, your body won't be able to heal and it won't be able to recover. So that way your muscles relax and recover for the next day of competition. And so part of it is, what's a healthy balance of practice? What's a healthy balance to know that, all right, I won't overwork myself and I will get this done, versus, okay, if I have the experience knowing that I've also done this, I know I can do this extra paper, this extra mile, because I know I can do this before. Or for those of you who want to venture in the new territory, let's go for 2 miles instead of 1. I want to push myself. And so this is so cool with the idea of what is anxious and sweet with regards to how much effort you want to put into your work. And I would argue, if you feel it is beyond what you're doing, okay, take a step back, reflect and say, okay, I asked out this many people in this year, okay, and I got some dates that helped me out, okay, now how many more do I have to do to get a relationship going? Okay, what is the next step for me to do to get into good shape, to go for the next thing, so that way it become more attractive? Or for my business, how many more clients do I need to get my business going and it'll just be self-sufficient? Or for my YouTube channel, how many subscribers would it be nice to have to keep going without have to worrying? But the point is, you know your strengths and your limits. And you'll know that it's Jesus who's with you when everything is working through a state of sweetness, where the devil will keep you anxious and it'll be hard to focus and celebrate when you have the victory. And so, this is for me, Mike the MC, on Thursday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Always remember, spend time and what you're doing with sweetness. Don't be anxious, but be sweet, and know that you got this and you're going to get these papers, assignments, whatever you're doing done, and you're going to do great. So, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.